Beautiful people, welcome back to another video. For those new here, my name is Pete. Some call me Pilot Pete. I'm a Boeing 767 airline pilot by profession, and today we're already actually midway through a trip. I landed here in Indianapolis last night late via Chicago, via Memphis. It was a two-leg little evening, and you know what? I was just tired. I wasn't feeling it, so I didn't pull out the camera. I didn't film anything, and we're gonna pick it up from here. So this trip is a, let's see, 4-day trip. I got legs to Chicago, like I said I already did. It was only a 4-hour little sit, but since it was over 4 hours, they gave me a hotel. So I was in a hotel for a little bit, and then we flew to Indy. Both were super short flights. I mean, the flight from Memphis to Chicago was like 1 hour and 10 minutes, and then the flight from Chicago to Indianapolis, like 54 minutes. So super easy, but didn't get to the hotel till like 2 a.m. yesterday. Slept in. It's currently, check the fake watch, it's like 10:57 in the morning. And then today we report at 3:30 down in the lobby to fly to Portland, PDX, a place I've been before but haven't been in years, honestly. And I got a 36-hour layover, so I'm excited for that. You know me, if I'm gonna be working, I'd rather get paid to be in cool places, check them out, restaurants, gyms, adventures, you name it, although it's freezing cold there. So who knows what I'll be getting into, but I posted on my Instagram that I'd be going. So hopefully some of you and some my Instagram followers send me some good recs for some good eats. But as always, if you want to come along for the ride, we're here in Indy. We're going to enjoy a little bit of time here, get our workout in, our non-negotiable, eat some food, and then we'll be on our way to PDX. All right, got some breakfast in me. Now it's time to go get our non-negotiable in. We're going to go for probably like a 4-mile run today. Beautiful day in Indianapolis downtown. I think like the Big 10 or Big 12, I don't know the leagues anymore, have their like championship here downtown for basketball. March Madness is coming up. There's tons of Wisconsin Badgers are in the house. Fans, I just saw the mascot running around, cheerleaders. So get our run in, and then, oh, I'm gonna mention it from here till October. I'm running the Chicago Marathon. The goal for this year is sub 3:30. It's gonna be really, really tough for me, but we're gonna start training. We got a coach, we got our training program, so we're super stoked for it. And I'm running for the Pat Tillman Foundation, which helps out our men and women military veterans. So if you wanna donate $1, $5, $1,000, in the description, I'll put the link to donate. It really goes a long way. I really appreciate it. Like I said, it's not for me. I'm just raising money for this fantastic charity. So I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's go log some miles. I usually run the canal, which I really like that run in downtown Indy, but it was too nice not to go around the main area, check out the stadiums, trying to soak up as much sun as I can. I'm gonna be in a giant tube for, I think it's like a 4.5-hour flight, maybe even 5 hours of Portland to the Pacific Northwest. So try to soak up as much vitamin D as we can before that. All right, 4 miles in, we took a little break, running past the Pacers basketball stadium. It's the Big 10 championship being hosted, so they have all these events going on. I've played down there before. It's actually a free event, but I don't really feel like some Crush Zero Sugar soda right now. Got 1 mile left. We'll end up at Sweet Green for lunch. Almost done, baby. Not every day you get to see a full demolition. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that in person before. Looks like a war zone. Hey, just checked YouTube when I was online at Sweet Green. Just hit 30,000 subscribers. So first and foremost, thank you. If it wasn't for you guys out there that watch, comment, like, and subscribe, it would never have happened. So I really, really appreciate it. It's been a fun journey to start, and gonna continue because I enjoy making the content. People seem to enjoy it, so we're gonna keep rolling with it. But seriously, thank you so much. 30,000, it means a lot that you guys watch and like I said, interact with me and share my journeys and give me good ideas, help me with content, places to eat, inspire me, motivate me, send me great messages. So again, seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you for the 30,000 subscribers. For 10 and 20, I did a little Q&A. I'm thinking, what do we do for 30? Comment below what you think we should do. Should we do a little giveaway? You know, I could scrounge up some things. I work with a few brands and companies that, you know, and I get to ship a lot of like PR packages and stuff. We could do a giveaway, which would probably only go to like 1 or 2 people, so maybe not as beneficial. We could do a YouTube live session. I'll schedule it out like a week or 2 in advance. We'll do it on like a weekend so more people can join, or sometime after work. We'll do like a 30-minute live Q&A. Or we could do just the general 30 questions. That might be a lot. We could just do a question and answer video. You guys comment and DM me your questions and I'll answer the most popular ones. So let me know below. Comment below. If you want a giveaway, comment giveaway. If you want a live, like a live Q&A, comment live. And if you want just a 30 questions for Pilot Pete for 30,000 subscribers, then comment Q&A. So live, Q&A, or giveaway, and we'll come up with a fun idea. But seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so we're just pulling up to the flight ops for Indy, and it's just me in the car because the captain actually lives here in Indy. So he had his car in the employee parking lot, drove it home, slept in his own bed, and canceled the hotel, probably bank the little dollars that they give us if we cancel the hotel. But the nice thing about that is people are asking me, like, if we have to ask the company if there's like a permission. The answer is no. Basically the only thing the company cares about, and this is every airline I've ever flown for, be at the airplane and ready to depart on time and fly the airplane to where it needs to be, and that's it. So it's kind of like a hands-off job. There's no boss like directly talking to you or checking in with you. It's one of the perks, I think, of a job, you know, for people that are in sales or marketing or always on their laptop. They kind of have that overlooking person. We do have chief pilots that make sure we fall in line and do the right things, but for the most part, it's just show up to the jet, fly it to where we tell you to do it on time, and do it the way we want you to fly. If you do that, then that's all I really care about. So got about an hour and 15 minutes prior to departure. We'll see you on the pre-flight for Portland. Beautiful people from the ramp in Indianapolis, Indiana. We just pre-flighted the 767. She's all loaded, ready to go. We love when that happens. The APU just fired up. There go the packs. That's the air conditioning. So the captain just turned on the packs to make it a little bit cooler in the flight deck. We got 4.5 hours to PDX. I haven't been there in a long, long time. It's gonna be my flight to fly us. We're taking off runway 5 right, so we'll be departing this way out of Indy. Looks like it should be a pretty smooth ride. There's a few pockets of weather along the 4.5 hour flight, so maybe some bumps here, maybe some bumps there. As you guys know, usually though when we're flying the 767, Captain and I will just look at one another and be like, hey, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You good? Turbulence isn't really the biggest factor for us for obvious reasons. You're smart enough, you can figure that out. Excited to get to PDX though. Like I said, it's been a minute. I guess I just looked at the hotel. We actually stay in Washington though. I didn't realize how close to the border Oregon, Portland was of Washington, the state of Washington. But the reason I'm excited is because, like I tell you guys all the time when I'm able to do this, my college buddy from Arizona State University, shout out Sun Devils, who I haven't seen probably since graduation, no joke. He's also a runner into health and wellness. We linked up. I put it out on my Instagram for PDX recommendations. He shot me a message like, dude, I live here, let's link up. So probably get dinner tomorrow night, because I have 2 nights there before I fly back Saturday. But anyway, it's a good flight, should be a good flight. Stay tuned for the rating. 767's all done. I'm gonna do a pre-flight video one of these days, but I wanna do it when there's obviously not this much noise. So it's a little warm in Indianapolis, which we're not complaining about. I love the fact that the sun's out. Sounds like spring, feels like spring, and summer is right around the corner, if not here. And I can do a full pre-flight video for you guys without the noise and kind of just go over what I'm looking at, what the procedures are for pre-flight, who does them, why we do them, all that fun stuff. But otherwise, admire the view. as I walk back into the flight deck and we finish our pre-flight inspections, get the FMS all set up, and get on our way to PDX. Woo! Folks, we made it. Hello from Portland, Oregon Airport, but we're staying in downtown Vancouver, Washington, so we cross over state boundaries. I personally had no idea that Portland, Oregon PDX Airport was right on the border, but here we are, my first time in Vancouver, Washington, so excited to check that out. It is, let's see, 7:05 p.m. local time. I'm doing my best stay on East Coast time, so I can go to bed, wake up early, and then just better for my body clock to stay like that. But we'll change out of the monkey suit, get a little more comfortable, and then I'll debrief the flight because we had some interesting arrival and weather, to say the least. All right, so we took off out of Indianapolis, Indiana. It was my leg to fly. Quite uneventful for the first 4 hours out of the 4.5 hour flight. Taxi Delta. We're number like 3 for departure off of 5 right. We departed via the Rocky 1 departure, which is just basically fly heading, and then they vector us around to Terre Haute VOR. So it was a climbing left turn. Didn't even have to stop the climb. Went up to 6,000, 16,000, then up to 230, and then finally up to our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet. En route, pretty clear, as you can see, pretty much the entire way towards the Pacific Northwest. So throughout the flight, we get the weather at the destination airport. For this one is PDX Portland, and the weather was calling for us to land on runway 28 left and 28 right. It was a clear day in Portland, but that started to change as we got closer to the arrival. So this is our arrival airport procedure, the Hood 5 RNAV arrival. We came over JNOX. These are just fixes in the sky. I've explained this before, but GPS fixes. And right before we started the arrival, they actually switched the airport around. So what that means is instead of landing runway 28 left, they change it to 10 right, 10 right, and 10 left instead of the 28s because of winds. Airplanes always want to take off and land into the wind. So our approach came down JNOX, My Tote, Hood, Beeve, Bull Run, and then as we were getting close to, I believe it was Bayer, there's a lot of buildup of weather, and we actually had to deviate to the left. Well, there becomes a problem because as you can see here, there is a giant mountain, Mount Hood, at 11,240 feet. So you can't just keep descending because that becomes a terrain threat, which we don't want to obviously crash into the mountains. So it was a little bit tricky. We had to stay high for a little bit. These altitudes are 15, 9,000, 7,000, 6,700, so on and so forth. But we stayed a little bit high because, again, ATC couldn't descend us because of the restriction with Mount Hood. Finally, we got over it. We ended up actually switching kind of the arrival. We got vectored over for the south side instead of coming through the north because of all that weather that was all over this area. So it didn't really make it hard. It was just kind of, all hands on deck, deviating left and right. I had terrain mode up on my side. The captain had the weather on his side so that I could look over and see the weather to avoid it. But then obviously I want to make sure we don't fly into any terrain. Air traffic control did a fantastic job vectoring us for the ILS 10 right. We broke out around, I don't know, probably like 3,000 feet. They put us on a right base, intercept the localizer and the glide slope. That again is that invisible beam that projects up from the runway, helps the airplane navigate both left and right laterally and up and down vertically. And it was my leg, but I want to show you guys before I give you my landing score. This was the ATIS that we had for Portland. As you can see, I'll kind of break it down a little bit. 060 at 7 knots, that's the wind. 10-mile statute visibility, so good visibility. Runway 10 right, the RVR was 6,000 feet. So no problem actually seeing down the runway, but this was what caught our eyes. This minus TS RAGR. So aviation's all about abbreviations. As you can see, this entire thing's abbreviated. Now I know TSRA is thunderstorms. I had no idea what GR was. The captain and I both had no idea. I haven't seen it since flight school, so it's been 15 plus years. All those of you that are in private or instrument or commercial flight training, I know you guys have this memorized. It's part of your check ride, but once you start flying, you know, bigger and faster jets, I mean, it's not like it's not required to know, but they don't quiz you on it. And very rarely, at least the places I fly, Memphis, Indy, Newark, you know, Costa Rica, there is no GR. Well, GR stands for hail. You would think they would make it HL. I don't know what acronym is taking up HL, why they can't use HL. But anyway, there was a rager. We kept calling it a TS rager at Portland. So hail and rain and scattered clouds and airport shifting around with the visibility. I guess that's kind of normal for Portland. The weather is just crazy here. Just always kind of changing. But again, landed without issue, runway 10 right. I had auto brakes 4. We had a wet runway because of the rain and the hail. So auto brakes 4, landing distance, as you can see, for Foxtrot, where we exited, was 6,000 feet. I mean, I kicked the brakes off right around the intersection around 4,000 feet, because I literally touched down like right there, and then it was a quick taxi, Foxtrot to Echo into our ramp. ATC asked us before they cleared us into the ramp, like, hey, TRACON or approach control. Basically, there's 3 different sectors of air traffic control. There's center that talks to the airplanes up at altitude. There's TRACON or approach and arrivals that kind of help guide the airplanes out and into the airport environment. And then there's the tower, which is the one that everyone thinks all the air traffic controllers are located, but they're not. That's just 1/3 of the air traffic control system. That's the ground clearance delivery, the tower that's clearing you to land and take off and all that good stuff. But anyway, tower got a phone call from TRACON being like, hey, ask that airplane that just landed if they experienced hail, any icing, things like that, because they wanted a PIREP, which is short for pilot report, because they wanted to send more airplanes our way. They want to make sure it was safe, that, you know, any weather conditions they could kind of pass along to other airplanes, especially the smaller propeller airplanes that are more susceptible to icing. So anyway, we passed along the report that we did not get any icing, and we just had to deviate around that weather. The hail actually came once we parked the jet. So as we were parking the jet and setting the parking brake, shutting down the engines, the hail started. So as we were running from the airplane into the hangar into the cars, when I got a little bit wet from the rain and hail. But what everyone wants to know, Pete, how was your landing? Folks, you know, I like to be myself's hardest critic. I keep it real. We always keep it real at Pilot Pete Fly. 9.7 out of 10. You can't do much better. It was just, all things clicked. The approach was nice. I loved how it all kind of came together. I personally like keeping the airplane fast. I don't like to configure. Configure means adding the flaps, adding the gear, and slowing the airplane down until it's like right. My most fun part of landing the Boeing 767 is trying to challenge myself. So we have rules and stipulations where the airplane has to be fully configured, fully on speed at certain parameters. 1,000 feet, 500 feet, there's all these different parameters. But long story short, I challenge myself to do it as late as possible within those boundaries, if that makes sense, because to me, it makes me like a better pilot, challenges me. I'm always trying to get better and better. So anyway, I did that today. I kept it fast, I kept it clean, and then just dropped the flaps and dropped the gear kind of at certain points. And it just all clicked, it all worked out. And autopilot came off around 1,000 feet, auto throttles around 600 feet, and then beautiful touchdown, again, 9.7. We're gonna stick with it. We'd love to see it. So 36 hours now here in Portland, Vancouver, Washington. I don't know if I should keep saying Portland, if people from Portland are gonna get mad at that. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stay on East Coast time, so it's 7:30 local, 10:30 my body clock time. I'm not really tired, but I'll probably watch a little bit of TV. Actually, who am I kidding? I never watch TV. I'll probably edit a little bit of video and then get to bed bright and early tomorrow. We're doing a leg workout. We're going for a run, and we're gonna meet up with my buddy and enjoy the layover. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, bright and early, at least West Coast time. It's 7:13 in the morning, 10:13 East Coast time. Woke up, gonna head to the gym. I'm 50-50 it's gonna work though. There's an Anytime Fitness right around the corner from my hotel, but I don't know if my little key thing is gonna work. I stopped by the hotel gym. It is not great, especially for a leg day. So we're hoping that the fob works and gets us in so we can get a proper leg workout. We'll see though. And then get some breakfast. It's Friday. I'm Catholic. It's Lent season, so no meat. It's a hard day for me, guys. Pray for me, because it's hard for me not to have meat for every meal. So we'll try to find some breakfast yogurt, I guess, some berries, some granola, smoothie. I'm gonna go for a run later. It's chilly here. I got a bunch of recs, so thank you for those people on Instagram who gave me some recommendations for food. Voodoo Donuts is a popular one. There's one, the closest one's like 5.5 miles, so that might be a perfect run there, have some donuts, run back, and then meet up with my buddy later tonight for dinner, and we'll explore a little bit of downtown Vancouver. It's chilly though. It's 34 degrees Fahrenheit, so a far cry from Indianapolis yesterday, where it was like 70 degrees. So that's this time of year is tricky to pack everything in a suitcase as a pilot for warm weather, cold weather. You never know what you're gonna get. All right, just what I was worried about. Access denied and no staff members till later. This stinks. This stinks. All right, so no success at the gym. We'll have to figure out a plan B. But it's freezing, I'm hungry. So we came to Syrup Trap for a waffle. I stopped at this, what I thought was a restaurant, but it was a food truck first. There's no place to sit, it's freezing, but this will be like an appetizer breakfast. Then we'll go back to that other place because it'll be open now, and then eat that, go back to the hotel, probably Uber to the gym. I don't know yet. I feel silly Uber to a gym, but we got stuff to figure out here, folks. We got to take advantage of our full day here in Vancouver. So, pilot schedule manipulation at its finest. As you can see here, I get done with this trip on Saturday. I don't want to have to deadhead to MCO if I don't have to, so we hit refresh, and look at this, folks. Pilot Pete's not heading to MCO anymore. A front-end deadhead to JFK. I'll deviate from that, and I'll end up with a free day paid at home. So that's how you do it. Basically, I messaged, this one was a easy one to do. I just messaged the pilot that had JFK, and I said, hey, would you rather go to MCO? They live in Charlotte or whatever, and they were like, yeah, I don't really care. And the MCO one, the Orlando one, actually paid more money and had a bigger bank, so it was definitely a win for that person. I obviously just rather make a little bit less from the company, but be home more. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. So looking forward to that trip. A front-end deadhead JFK, back-end deadhead Newark, and in between MSP with the deadhead. So I'm only operating 1 leg, 2 leg, 3 leg, but being paid for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. All right, that same gym that we couldn't access earlier, we made it. I got people working business hours, so they'll let me in and then explain to me why my fob wasn't working. But a very tight-knit gym as far as equipment spacing. but right downtown and very, very close to my hotel. So we love that. Quick leg workout, and then still raining and cold here. So we're gonna give our legs a little bit of a rest. No run today. Go back to the room, work on some more Pilot Pete fly stuff, and then my buddy's picking me up around 5 for a nice early Italian dinner. All right, time for a little gripe as I drink my water. Finished workout, then walked to a sushi place. Set online and closed at 2:30 and reopens at like 5 for dinner. I got there at 2:12. Walked in, they politely turned me away. Now you tell me, the restaurant says they're open until 2:30. My understanding is as long as you walk in before 2:30, like 2:29, you're good. That's how it works from the area I'm from. I could be mistaken. Maybe things work. I politely turned around. I didn't put a fuss, but they lost a customer for life. Granted, I'll probably never be back to Vancouver, Washington more than once or twice a year at most. It's the first time being here in 5 years at this company. But either way, 2:30, I didn't even want to sit down. I just wanted a to-go order of sushi. So either way, thank you very much. Found another place right across the street. We went with some shrimp tempura sushi and some pad thai with shrimp, some white rice. This place looks better anyway, so we'll enjoy this before we head back. All right, we just finished dinner with my old pal John here from ASU. John, do you have any old memories of Pilot Pete for the audience from back in college that are
so many memories? I don't think I can share any
that are YouTube rated. Okay.
No, I can't.
And how long have you been living here in Portland?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, best place to live.
We got dinner at some Italian spot. I don't remember the name. Do you?
No.
I always rate my dinner at 1 through 10. What are you gonna give it?
Company was a 10. I'd say the food was
smart man.
a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Company was a 10, obviously.
Nice.
And then food-wise, I'm gonna be strict. I'm gonna be harsh. New Yorker, best restaurants in the world. I'm gonna go with 7.2 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
The cannoli was good.
Good cuisine in New York. It's tough to beat.
Especially Italian, but we had to stick to the Italian for tonight. But either way, great seeing you, buddy.
Nice, great seeing you, dude.
All right, folks, we're out here on the ramp in PDX, just pre-flight in the 767, and look who came and said what's up.
So guys, subscribe to this dude right here.
Who do we got here?
Cameron.
And what do we do here at PDX?
I fuel aircraft's upcoming pilot too.
So, you are?
Yeah.
Nice. What, any hours? Have you started
I
flying
got
yet?
2 hours, but I'm working 16-hour days, saving
Okay.
money.
Dude, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of airplane are you training out of?
150.
150?
That's the 150.
PDX or a small airport?
It's like 20 minutes out in Chicago. So,
Okay, nice. So what's the long-term goal?
Long term, either probably for Alaska, commercial airlines.
Okay.
I'd fly cargo too.
Okay,
So
nice.
my body would be cool.
Heck yeah. What's like the time frame? Are you just trying to get it as fast as possible, or like get your private done, then take some time off, then do instrument, and then give a
So
time frame?
yeah, my goal is to do part 61 and then
Okay.
just do it as fast as I can.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't want to take breaks. So.
Okay, yeah, that's what I always suggest to people, for those watching too, is like, if you take a big gap, like a couple months or years, you can kind of forget the little things, and it ends up costing you more money and more time at the end. So, but yeah, I was just pre-flight in the 7.6. Cameron was nice enough to come up. He's fueling you just finished fueling, right?
Yeah, it's all done.
And then he's like, hey, do you know this guy? He shows me his phone, and it was me on a vlog. So, too funny, nice, awesome guy. I'm curious though, I don't know anything about fuel in an airplane. Is it fun? Is it cool? Is it?
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm the only cargo guy today, so I was rushing everywhere today,
Okay.
but it's fun, yeah.
And you just, I mean, how long is the training for those who are out there? Because Cameron's doing it right. He's like, hey, I got to pay for flight training somehow. Let me get around aviation, airplanes, pilots, obviously, networking, and he's fueling planes, making money. Is there a lot of training involved?
It's not a lot of training at all, no, it's just you do some online training when you get hired, and then you're kind of good to go. That's why I got into the field, is so networking, industry, and
Absolutely.
meet people like you. So.
Absolutely, no, you're doing the right thing. That's cool. Any particular airplane that you like enjoy fueling more than others? Or at this point, it's all the same?
It's all the same. 767, 747 is my favorite.
So you guys have those at PDX?
Rare.
Rare. When you do, how long does that take to fuel?
Oh man, I've had 5 trips, like 5 full trips in a tanker truck.
So that means, for those who don't know, it means you fill up the fuel truck, And then what do you do after you did 5 trips? What does that mean?
Yeah, so you go to the plane, drop 10,000 gallons off.
Woo!
And
10,000 gallons.
Reload the whole thing. It took like 2 hours, but
That's crazy. 2 hours.
yeah, it took like 45,000 gallons.
Holy cow. Any idea where that plane was heading?
Cross country, like Tokyo.
So across the world pretty much.
Yeah.
Long
Cross
flight.
the country.
Gotcha. Yeah, true. Well, hey, dude, awesome. Thank you so much for saying hi. It's a pleasure meeting you. Look up for Cameron. He's going to be your next captain on your next flight in a couple of years. So thanks, buddy. Thank you. All right, pre-flight's all done. We got just under 4 hours, 3 hours, 55 minutes to Indianapolis. Last leg of the trip. I'll be pilot monitoring. Should be smooth sailing. Dark, but we'll be flying into the sun, so hopefully catch a cool sunrise. Next stop, Indy. Shout out to Cameron. Thanks for saying hi, buddy. We'll see you next time, Portland. Folks, we made it back home. What a rush that was. Literally landed at 1:42 p.m., blocked in at like 1:48 p.m. My flight passenger deadhead was at 2:34 p.m., but if you guys have been following along for a while, you know that I don't park at the same terminal and gates. So I had to get off the jet, take a crew bus to our flight ops, which takes anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes, depending on the gate you parked at. Then I had to make sure the driver was there. Thankfully he was. He drove me to the passenger terminal, which was about 15 minutes. The saving grace was KCM. I got through known crew member security. Basically, it's like a separate security for crew members. I did not get random. I had my pilot uniform on because I had no time to change. And I made it to the gate, literally as they were saying, final boarding call, passenger Peter, pilot Pete, where you at? So they let me on, and whew, what a rush. What a rush, what a rush. But I'm happy I made that last deadhead flight, not last one, but the next one was like 3 hours later, and they're already all delayed because the weather in New York, it's getting dark now, so you can't really see it. But it's cloudy, it's rainy, and there's some storms just around the Northeast that are coming in that are delaying like all the airspace. So whew, we made it. Then I just got home a little bit ago, relaxed, and that's the end of the flying trip, but the stress level is now starting to come down. I'm excited to enjoy the rest of my Saturday. We got SJ on the way over, cook some dinner, relax, and then yeah, I have one full day off tomorrow, Tuesday, and then I'll show you guys my upcoming trip. But before I leave you, I just want to show you guys the descent into Indy. So normally I don't actually pull this up. I usually only have weather on, but this is the turbulence chart showing you kind of moderate, severe, and light turbulence. This is a little different now that it's further down the day, but long story short, this big strip of turbulence was all around our arrival, so we were getting rocked into Indy, which normally we don't care. I've said this before, but normally myself, the captain, you know, we're not really worried about the people in the back complaining, so we kind of just go status quo. But it got that bad where even him and I were like, hey, let's descend. So we were at 350, 96% of the flight, and then about 120 miles out, we got that really bad turbulence that's coming from the convective weather that's all around the Northeast, like I was saying. So it just causes rough air. People are always like, what's causing this turbulence? Sometimes it's not actual, like you're flying through the storms, but those storms that are creating that convective weather and that unstable air is going to flow outward for miles, causing the bumps. That's exactly what we went through. We descended at 310 down the arrival, and the winds were gusting to like 34 knots. But Captain made a nice landing. It was his leg. He landed runway 23 left, taxiing to the gate, and like I said, I rushed to take it over to the passenger terminal, but luckily we made it. So here's the arrival that we flew. It was the Colts to Arnolf arrival, Colts for Indianapolis coast. Sire, he's either the owner or the coach. You Indianapolis folks will know that better than me. Jave, Colts, Gardy, Circo. We were told to descend via the last fix on there is Zozar, 210 knots at 6,000 feet. And then each of the points Peyton is the only one that I really know about. It's named for Peyton Manning, so I've mentioned this before, but depending on the city and the arrival, they're gonna put in kind of like local heroes and namesakes that kind of make sense. You can even tell the VOR there is Brickyard for the Brickyard 500. But that was the arrival, and like I said, the approach, Captain flew ILS 23 left and gusty winds, but landed no problem. The points here for the Pacers, you got Larry for Larry Bird, then you got Bird for Larry Bird, Pacer, like I mentioned before, and soon to the gate after that. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming along for the ride. If you have any questions or comments, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I get back to all of them. Just make sure you follow me first so I can see them. It's pilotpete.fly. Comments below. If you get thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. 30,000, we did it. We're aiming for 100K by the end of the year. It's a big goal, but I'm hoping to put out more content, better content, and just more enjoyable stuff for you guys, the viewers. I do really appreciate, though, everyone who's tagged along for the ride. Again, comment, giveaway, Q&A, or live, and I'll tally them up somehow, and the one that has the most, we will 100% do. Airport charts available if you want them. I make all those. I got some DMs about that. The non-negotiable shirts also on my website, pilotpetefly.com. And yeah, appreciate you guys coming along. Next trip actually starts on Monday, so pretty much in 2 days. It'll come quick, but it's a deadhead to JFK. So it'll be a nice, easy trip. I'll explain more on the next one. So as always, I appreciate you coming along. Be safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.